Good evening, everyone. Can I have everybody take their seat? We will now be starting the City Council meeting. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight we have Pastor Barbara Taylor who will give the invocation from the World of Life Ministry in Beach Park. We're so blessed to have you here tonight. Thank you for being here. And will you go to the podium and give us the invocation?
Okay. I wrote this down so I can stay in sync. So anytime for prayer, I get a little bit excited, so I wrote it down. Amen. Giving honor to our mayor and Taylor, all the city officials, and the council members. Let us pray. Our Father, eternal God, we come to you who is the author and the finisher of our faith, asking for your wise counsel on tonight. We need your counsel in order to lead this great city for the commonwealth of these great people. Give us good ideas, resources, and strategies that will build and develop this city and your people. Unify us in our decision-making. We speak transformation and restoration to this city. God, will you continue to cover the city officials and their families? We lose all incident, accident, and occurrences, sickness, and diseases. And we say amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. Hard to believe, but we are already in December. This month, we will have this meeting, and next Monday, there will be a Committee of the Whole meeting, which will be at 6 p.m. and run until 9 p.m., and then the following Monday is our last City Council meeting of the year. Again, I want to remind people, if you don't know how to get our city agenda to know what's going to be on or talked about at City Council, that comes out the Friday before our council meeting, and it's all on our website at waukeganil.gov, and that provides a whole bunch of information, not just the agendas, but that's where you can start. Some general comments. Some of you may have noticed we kicked off our holiday season with the Kris Kringle Market, the tree lighting, photos with Santa on Saturday. It was just a fun event through the whole city. The Park District participated, Main Street participated, and it was nice to see a lot of residents come down and participate in our community. This weekend, the holiday events continue, including gift-making workshops at Dandelion Gallery, the Waukegan Historical Society's Holiday Tour of Homes, the Posada at Lakehurst Events, the Joseph Ferraro DIY Messiah with the Waukegan Symphony Orchestra, and the concert chorus. Holiday shows are at the Genesee Theater, Three Brothers Theater, and the Jack Benny Center for the Arts, and the Waukegan Park District's Holiday Spectacular, among other scheduled programs. For information, go to the city's calendar at waukeganil.gov/calendar. December, January, and February are some of the coldest months in Waukegan. If you need assistance with your gas or electric bills, LIHEAP, administered by Community Action Partnership of Lake County, may help ensure your home is warm and safe this winter. Families and individuals whose monthly income is less than 200% of poverty level can qualify for this program. So that sounds really fancy. What does that mean? So if you are a household of one person and make less than $2,430 per month, you qualify. If you're a family of two, and a monthly income of $3,287, you qualify. Family of three, it's $4,143. Family of four, $5,000 a month. Family of five, $5,857. And a family of six, $6,713. Again, this is through Lake County. This is not through us, but please follow up with this. There's an article in the newspaper about it today. Make sure that if you need the assistance, you get it. Congratulations to Cook Magnet music teacher Kathleen Dudley, who was honored as a Chicago Bears classroom legend during a surprise ceremony. As a classroom legend, Katie received a custom Bears jersey, a ceremonial custom football, field passes for an upcoming Bears game, and most importantly, a $1,000 classroom award. Speaking of schools, guest principals were in the Waukegan Public Schools, and our own police officer, Israel Figueroa, was welcomed back to Washington Elementary School. Guest principals had the opportunity to learn about the school and students through meetings, classroom activities, and building tours. We know our officer Figueroa enjoyed the special welcome at Washington School. Last Friday, we published our first walk talk on our YouTube channel. These videos will highlight departments in the city as well as services provided. This one was done, and it's called the Snow Fighters, and it has safety tips for when plows are out. Thanks to Public Works Director Chris Garland and Superintendent Alonzo Jenkins. You can also find the video online on my mayoral Facebook page at facebook.com/Mayor Ann Taylor. The 25th Annual Waukegan Polar Bear Plunge registration is open at waukeganparks.org/plunge. The Polar Bear Plunge benefits the Special Recreation Service of Northern Lake County at our Park District. If you would rather not run into icy Lake Michigan on January 1st, sponsorships and pledging opportunities are available. I know Alderman Hayes did it one year. Are you signing up again, or was once enough? But we do have new council members that might want to participate, so don't forget, put some pressure on them to sign up. The city runs on the hard work of our dedicated staff, but it also requires countless volunteers, and we talked about this last time, and I've been talking about this since at least July. We continue to look for volunteers for the Planning and Zoning Board, the Library Board, probably not the Waukegan Housing Authority, but the Historical Preservation Committee and the Community Development Block Grants. The volunteer roles are essential to the operations of our hometown. If you want to volunteer your time in public service to your neighbors, please contact my office by emailing mayor.taylor@waukeganil.gov. Speaking of the Housing Authority, I'm proud to announce the reappointment of 3 Waukegan volunteer public servants to the Waukegan Housing Authority. I want to thank Eleanor Murphy, Michelle Obleton, and Kitty Harden for the tireless work that they as Waukeganites do for us. And I'm pleased to make a motion later to reappoint them to the Housing Authority this evening. I would like to read an email that I received from the International City County Management Association. And I think this is so important because so many of you know I push my staff a lot to get continuing education and training in their fields. One of the reasons that I selected my Chief of Staff, George Bridges, was because I knew he already had a master's in public administration. But this is what the email says. I'm pleased to inform you that George Bridges, Chief of Staff for the City of Waukegan, recently received the International City County Management Association, meaning an ICMA, Accreditational Manager Candidate designation. He will become an ICMA credentialed manager in August of 2024. Mr. Bridges is one of over 1,500 local government management professionals participating in the ICMA voluntary credentialing program. To be credentialed by ICMA, a member must have significant experience as a senior management executive in local government, have earned a degree, preferably in public administration or a related field, and have demonstrated a commitment to high standards of integrity and lifelong learning and professional development. Again, I just want to say, we don't have a city manager for the city of Waukegan, and it leaves us out of a lot of opportunities. The fact that he's gone above and beyond, this is something that not everybody who even has a degree can get. I just want to thank him dearly and give him a round of applause. Lastly, I want to ensure there's no confusion on this issue, as many local units of government are heading into their budgeting session. You may have read articles about various units of government raising taxes for next year. Here in the city of Waukegan, we are not levying any additional money for our taxpayers again, like each year I've served as mayor. Since my days as an alderperson, I've been pushing for fiscal responsibility. I'm pleased that under this administration here in this city, we are holding the line on taxes and paying down our high-interest debt that we inherited. Times are tough for families throughout our county, and I remain committed to our taxpayers to act in their best interest. As many of you know, we've talked about how we've decreased our debt, how we've increased our bond debt. It's something that I'm particularly proud of this administration, meaning my staff, of doing, and we will continue to do that. But when you see your tax bill, look for the other groups that have actually asked for an increase in the levy. It has not been the city of Waukegan. And I'm saying this because most people will come to us and say, you raised my taxes. And I want you to know, no, we did not. A couple of other announcements here. On the second day of Kwanzaa, there will be a poetic storytelling, and that's on December 27th from 3 to 5 at 520 Helmholtz Avenue in Waukegan. If you want to learn the flute or ukulele with Miss Jessica, those are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5 at BAM for the Mind, and that's on 801 McAllister. And the last one is Wellness and Sewing with Queen Josephine, and that's on Fashion Plus Yoga and Art Therapy. And that's also at BAM for the Mind on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and that's 801 McAllister. And that's my comments for this evening. Thank you. On to resolutions, proclamation, presentations, and appointments. Can I have a first and a second for the motion to approve the regular meeting minutes for Monday, November 20th, 2023? I need a first and a second.
So moved.
Alderman
Seconded.
Florian,
Second.
Alderman Martinez. Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight, we're going to have a short presentation by the Waukegan Grant Division, which is Karen Kay, who manages our grants, and then Nicole Large, who actually, she looks for different grants for us. And I want to say this, when I came into office, I said to my staff, we have to go after grants. We need to do more to get more grant money. They took it upon themselves, and now I've actually said to them, okay, I need you to back off a little bit because there's no way we could get all these projects done. So can you just pick the projects that we can get done next year and go for those particular grants? They have drastically increased the amount of grants, and they're going to give a short presentation on that. Go ahead.
go. Well, I'm pleased to take this opportunity to present two individuals who worked extremely hard researching and identifying alternative sources of revenue for the town to supplement our budget. We have Nicole Large, who's our grant consultant and grant writer, and Karen Kay, she's a senior accountant in the finance department. Our intergovernmental revenues support, they come to us in the form of grants, either from the federal, from the state, from the county, or from private foundations. And they are certainly a welcomed addition to our sources of revenue. The city seeks external funding for infrastructure projects such as roads and bridges, water and sewer improvements, redevelopment, environmental cleanup, lead line replacements, as well as equipment needs outside of the operating budget. Grants are not used to support ongoing general operating expenses. We don't seek grants for the everyday recurring expenses, because if you do, once the grant ceases or the funding source evaporates, we have no other choice but then to terminate the program to reduce services. So rather than seek funding for ongoing services, we only do it for the large-scale infrastructure projects. For the last 2 years, we currently have 27 active grants, 13 grants in various stages of application, 17 grants that were completed and closed in the last year, and 2 grants only so far denied. Since 2014, an 11-year period, we have been awarded 154 grants, totaling $102 million. That's quite a sizable amount of funding from outside sources that don't come from our taxpayers, don't come from our fees, charges, taxes. They come from outside sources, whether it be the federal government, the state government, the county, or private foundations. You were distributed a packet this evening that lists the grants since 2014. You can see the 9 grants in 2014 totaling $8.7 million. We won't take the time to go through all of them because there's far too many. In 2015, 6 grants totaling $1.8 million. And if you can see that, you have better eyes than I. But of course, I can cheat and look at this printed sheet. In 2016, 17 grants totaling $4.5 million. 2017, another 16 grants totaling $5 million. In 2018, 15 grants totaling $9.7. 2019, 16 grants totaling $4.5 million. 2021, $15.3 million in 16 grants. 2021, 15 grants totaling $14.9 million. 2022, another 14 grants, $16 million. Fiscal year 23, just last year, $5.4 million with 13 grants. And in the current year, we currently have 17 grants totaling $15.8 million. So that makes up your $105 million, 154 separate grants that have been awarded. Now, Nicole's going to present to you basically what she does as the grant writer and researcher in the process we go through in applying for these grants. Nicole?
Thank you, Don. Good evening, all. So the grant process here at the city, we have done a lot in the last year to streamline the city's grant-making process. Obviously, you all had a wonderful portfolio and had been receiving a large sum, especially for your larger units of city government in terms of your grants previous to my coming on board. However, we've done a lot of coordination and of increasing of the amount of grants that we are receiving currently. And we've done that by increasing the number of quality and strategic applications we are submitting. And we are diversifying and strengthening the city's grants in our funding portfolio. And I'll get into more detail as I continue this presentation. So my role here includes identifying proper funding, diversifying that actual funding portfolio, so not just looking at public funding, which can honestly be some of the hardest funding to receive. Preparing the proposals with the departments, getting letters of support from other agencies, nonprofits, representatives from other governments, meeting requirements for the grant applications in our proposal preparations, and of course, making sure that our submissions are on time, making sure that our submissions are of quality of the submissions, and also ensuring that the proposals meet all of the evaluation criteria so that we are scored highly, so that we are definitely considered for the awards that we are presenting. We also ensure that once we receive a notice of award, that when the project can be started up successfully, not just with the financial aspects, such as proper match being contributed, but also that we have the performance measures in place, such as setting up our goals within our department so that they know what they should be tracking throughout the grant management performance period. And so there's a lot that goes into a grant's life cycle. And I also work with the departments on their applications development for these submissions on the front end so that it's not a surprise on the back end once we get an award. And once we do have an award here at the city, I assist in the negotiation of contract terms, and if there's anything that needs to be brought up to the general counsel, I'll work it out with our lawyers at hand, and obviously seek your city council approval on grant awards if necessary. And like I said, implement anything that needs to be handed down to the department. So if there's performance measures, anything that needs to be worked out with the funding agency in terms of the actual grant contracts and performance measures, and connect finance with the funding agency for the proper grant accounting performance. And our current grant application status today, with my consulting services, the city has been awarded an additional $1.1 million. We currently have 3 submitted applications that we are waiting to hear our status on. And before the year's out, we will have 2 more state applications at least going out to grantors, and 1 more federal award that we are going to be submitting before New Year's Eve this year. I keep track of a grant database that these are the appropriate categories, so submitted grants, grants that we are pursuing or are currently exploring, awarded grants, and grants that are we have not yet, or not been awarded, I should say. So why do I keep track of grants that we have not been awarded? Well, there's actually a lot of value at peeking behind the curtains. One, we could possibly apply to it again next cycle. It could be in a year, could be in 6 months. It depends on when it opens again. Why debriefs are important? Obviously, it's because we want to learn why we weren't awarded. Just like when you were back in school, why did I get a B? You can ask the teacher. And that can obviously assist going forward in any grant application. Perhaps we didn't include enough data, or we need to engage our community a little bit more. Or it could be as simple as a funder wants to see a second application. There's just a particular quirk of a particular funder or foundation. So we definitely want to learn more and see if it's an appropriate use of resources to go after it a second time. So some of these awarded grants you are a bit familiar with. Obviously, the Auto Group Foundation was just here at council a few weeks back. And we've done a lot of work on internal process improvements. We've streamlined new grant writing processes across city departments. We have updated our grant resolution a few months back to reflect a modernization of grant processes, facilitated intergovernmental cooperation on grant programs, meaning 2 or more departments are working on applications. And I have to give a lot of praise to my colleagues here at the city. They work together like none other. Quite frankly, they have a really incredible drive to do well by the residents of Waukegan. I am would not be able to be this successful at what I've done in my first year here without being able to work so well with so many. I pick up the phone and we can work on these applications anytime. And I just want to say thank you and express my gratitude and ensure that the City Council knows that as well. The level of cooperation here on grants has been incredible. And one last note, one of the great facilitation aspects of my job is to be a representative of the city with other outside agencies. We have the Autoclove Group Foundation has expressed to several representatives that should our application go well and we close out our year one of the grant, that they may be willing to fund us for a second year's grant, meaning more speed radar signs for the city of Waukegan. Of course, I'm not waiting on just that application to get more speed radar signs. We're continuing to do research for more applications during this time. However, but they may be willing to express a year or two's worth of funding for us. Additionally, the Morton Arboretum is a grant assistance agency, and they have let us know that the previous two administrations, when the Morton Arboretum has attempted to engage them in conversations for grant funding, they were unsuccessful at making relationships, and so they have been very happy to engage this administration and these departments heads and staff going forward at helping us with our grant efforts with IDNR and the U.S. Department of Forestry for our 2024 application efforts with them next spring. So I just want to thank you all for your time this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. We have additional information available in the packets, specifically on reoccurring grants and the grant profile of the city. It's very detailed, so I'm not going to continue taking you on in that. But obviously, if you have any questions, Finance and I are available here at the city. So I just want to thank you on behalf of Finance, Don, and myself, Karen. Just want to thank you for your time and taking a little peek behind the curtain at what we do in the grants world. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Again, I want to absolutely let you know that this city is doing everything it possibly can to get as much support and grants that we can get to help make it so that we don't have to go to you as taxpayers and ask for things. So that's why we're able to address the tax levy and keep it at zero.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes. Alderman Bolton?
I'm just curious. Now, I understand on page 12 of her presentation, she's contracted in. Am I correct? I guess my question is, great work. I appreciated her thoroughness, but why is she not full-time?
Because she does not she doesn't want to be here at City Hall. She works from home. And she has all the research that she can do. Nicole, do you want to address that? What works best for you? But that was one of the things we looked at, and that was what was the arrangement that was best for her.
Certainly. When I was looking for a position and when the city was looking for a grant writing position, it actually matched both needs at the time. I am currently on a 2-year contract, which we will revisit, I'm sure, prior to my contract's end date next fall. I have a young one at home as well, and it just was what I was looking for at the time. It's what the city was looking for at the time. And I do obviously see that my situation could change down the line, but I do appreciate every hour that I'm on the clock for the city of Waukegan. I do treat this as a consultant role, and I'm careful to make sure that I am not an employee and I am a consultant. Obviously, those involved in HR understand, and I understand what that means. However, I do appreciate and understand those here at the city that treat me with the updue respect, regardless of what my actual position subtitle may be. And I just want to thank everyone for this this opportunity and where it may take us down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question, and I'm just trying to clarify and understand.
Absolutely.
I know each department have individuals that write their grants, such as the police department. Am I correct? Certain departments also write for grants.
They
And I
work-
guess my question is, why aren't we hiring from in-house?
Because each department looks at specific grants that may pertain to them, but she looks at grants that pertain to from all sources. So when she writes these grants, she obviously needs input from the individual department heads. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 or 4 department heads at a time. It's not just one-on-one. But the amount that they're able to spend on looking at grants for the, with all the other work that they have, they're not able to access everything like she is. So one of the reasons that, going back, why did we not bring her on as an employee was full-time, was we wanted to be able to tell you this is worth having somebody, because if you remember, that was a new position and not one that we had before. And as I've said to you, we have drastically increased our grants, and that has been with her help. But we wanted to be careful of saying to you, we're going to add this employee to the head count if we didn't have the numbers that showed that what she was doing. So that's why she came
Thank
on
you.
as a consultant. But yes, they do work with each individual department, but this gives us more opportunity to look at them overall, because if each department was looking at their own individual grants, some of these grants have to be done by 2 or 3, 4 departments. It's not unusual for lakefront planning and zoning, engineering, and sometimes Public Works to all be involved in doing a grant. Where if Public Works, let's say, was looking for grants, they would look at Public Works grants only. Does that help clarify?
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Next, we're going to do the Extra Mile Awards for the Downtown Planner Crew. And before we go on, I just want to say, before we read the Extra Mile Awards, I just want to thank this group that, for those of you who don't know what that means, is they have taken care of watering all our plants. They plant the flowers, water them, and take care of them downtown to make our city look good. As much as I would like to tell you the city can do anything, we do a lot, but we need community help. And this is one of those groups that helps us tremendously. And frankly, they are the nicest people ever, and I couldn't be more proud of the work that they do in our community. So, Clerk, would you like to read the presentations, and then we'll call you all up for a picture, too.
Absolutely. The City of Progress, Waukegan, Illinois, does hereby present this Extra Mile Award in recognition of your assistance in planting, maintaining, and watering the planters in downtown Waukegan that helps to highlight this top destination for the many residents and visitors that converge in this area year-round. Presented December 4th, 2023, to Chris Seagren, David D.J. Allen, Chris Lanning, Susie Wazinski, and John Steele. Please come up.
Again, I just want to, for those of you who don't know, this group does amazing other things in the city besides this. For starters, have you ever seen their Christmas lights? If you haven't, you need to take the opportunity of driving by Sheridan Road, and you'll know right away what is theirs. But these are the things that make our community better and things that make our community known for, our family-orientated city, and it's everything that you do that helps us. So again, I'd just like to present these awards to you. Actually, Chris, I'm going to have you do it since you.
For DJ.
I was going to say, I know that. I've seen her watering. I know that. Yes. And what I will say is if you see them out watering our plants this summer, don't harass them. Please grab a watering can and help them. You know, the more people we have, the better the community looks. So again, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do for our community, not just this, but everything else that you do. So thank you.
Jane was one of the first volunteers to play. She was. So just make a shout out to her.
Thank you, Chris. All right, we're all looking right here. And one more. Thank you.
You know, one thing I also want to remind people, I know they just mentioned Jane. Jane and David this weekend worked incredibly long hours to make our tree lighting possible. So I want to, we could give a hand to them, our Public Works Department. These things take a lot of time and energy, and so thank you for all you do. Thank you. Okay. Before I make the motion for the next three people to come onto the Housing Authority Board, I want to say this. There's been a lot of talk that we shouldn't have people on boards for so long. And my feeling about things is there's been a lot of boards that I have changed. I've changed the library board, I've changed the Port Authority. But you know, there comes a point, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's how I feel with these three people that we're bringing on tonight. They have worked tirelessly, they are leaders in our community, and I think that we're very lucky to have them in those positions. So at this time, for item D, I'd like to make a first and a second for the motion.
I so move.
Alderman Turner, second was Alderman Newsome. And that is a motion to ratify the reappointment of Eleanor Murky to the Waukegan Housing Authority Board. And this matter was held over by Alderman Guzman from the 11:20 City Council agenda. Can I have any questions to the motion?
I do.
Yes.
Can, yes, so it's just basically a comment. Okay, so in the paper and other people are saying that I should be doing my homework. That's exactly what I do. My job is not just as a legislator, as a person of checks and balances. So that's what I did. In my alderman briefing with Chief of Staff Thursday prior to the Monday meeting, I informed him that I was going to be putting this on hold until I researched more. So I apologize for who was here, Ms. Overton and Ms. Kitty, that you were not informed of this, that there was a possibility that it was going to get held over for 2 weeks. So that's what I did. I held it over for 2 weeks. It passed and moved on. So you cannot say that I did not do my homework or my due diligence. I'm here for checks and balances, okay? In those 2 weeks, that's what I did. I did my homework. I spoke to Director Charles Chamberlain and Chairman Eleanor Murky. We spoke, we discussed what was going on in the Housing Authority, and we are now ready to move forward. So I am doing my job as a legislator and a checks and balancer. Thank you.
Any other questions to the motion? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Absolutely aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Congratulations, Eleanor Murphy.
Congratulations.
Can I have a first and a second on item E?
Make the first.
Alderman Turner, a second.
I second it.
Alderman Bolton, a motion to ratify the reappointment of Michelle Overton to Waukegan Housing Authority Board. This matter was held over by Alderman Guzman from the 11:20 City Council meeting agenda. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
I just want to say I'm so happy and proud to see so many residents of the 6th Ward who are involved in our community and sitting on these panels and in any number of ways. As I look in the audience, I can count 4, 5 of our 6th Ward residents, and you all make me very proud. And I'm very honored to vote aye for Michelle Overton's reappointment. Thank you, ma'am.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're going to wait till the end, okay? The next one, can I have a first and a second?
I make the first.
I second.
Okay, Alderman Newsome and Alderman Bolton. A motion to ratify the reappointment of Kitty Harden to Waukegan Housing Authority. I'm not going to read the rest of that. It's the same thing, but we're going to do a reappointment. Any questions to the motion? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Most definitely, being a resident of the First Ward, I definitely do.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Proudly aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Miss
Can I
Kitty.
get the three of you to come up front so everybody knows who you are? Okay, I'm going to give a couple minutes for anybody who would like to leave before we go into audience time, and then we'll go straight into audience time. Okay, is everybody staying? Okay.
Okay, we do have audience time. I'm going to read the first 5 names. Go ahead and go to the east side of the room, line up so you're ready for your time. You have 3 minutes. It'll be Diane Verratti, Alexandria Sertigren, Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef, Eddie Holmes, and Chris Lanning. Diane Verratti, Alexander Sertigren, Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef, Eddie Holmes, and Chris Lanning. Diane, when you're ready, I'll...
Go ahead. Good evening. My name is Diane Verratti. Just 1 month ago, on November 6th, I spoke to you regarding my observation of what I call the dysfunction and chaos that I've observed from the members of this council since May. That evening, I used the term grandstanding. Perhaps the definition of that word is in order. It means the action of behaving in a showy or ostentatious manner in an attempt to attract favorable attention from spectators or the media. Well, I am a spectator, and let me tell you, some of you are attracting attention to yourselves, but it is definitely not favorable. I'm relieved that those of you who deliberately held up the appointment of 3 highly qualified, committed citizens to the Waukegan Housing Authority have changed your minds in the past 2 weeks. However, until some of you revise your understanding of responsibilities as elected officials, I don't see that much will change. In the words of Alderman Martinez to his fellow alderman on November 6th, do your homework. I'm under the impression that when we get ready to vote on something here, the homework has already been done. We're here to vote for it or not for it. With all due respect, Alderman Guzman, for some of you, that is apparently a novel idea. I'd like to thank Alderman Martinez and elaborate on his words. Here's what I, a resident of this community, expect from you, the members of the City Council. Number 1, be familiar with the agenda of every meeting. I found the agenda for this one online last Thursday. Number 2, determine what, if any, questions you have regarding agenda items. Number 3, attend the briefings that are provided for aldermen where you are able to ask questions and gain clarity if you are confused. Number 4, attend said meeting prepared to vote on every single agenda item. Vote yes, vote no, but please do not continue to waste my time with questions that you should have asked in advance. And pretty please do not decide to hold over agenda items because you've chosen not to take advantage of the opportunities you've been given to completely and thoroughly understand every item up for a vote. It's pretty simple. It's called being prepared and being willing to contribute to a meeting in an efficient and knowledgeable manner. I don't think that's too much to ask.
Thank you. Alexandra Sertigren.
Good evening. My name is Alexandria Cedergren. I work for the nonprofit organization Elevate, and we administer the state-funded program Illinois Solar for All on behalf of the Illinois Power Agency. This program brings affordable solar installations with no upfront costs to income-eligible homes across the state. And we are currently promoting an initiative called Bright Neighborhoods, which focuses on bringing the benefits of residential solar to 3 Illinois communities, including Waukegan. This initiative provides incentives to approved solar companies to develop solar projects on participants' homes or properties. These state incentives are what enable the solar companies to install the project with no upfront cost to the resident. This program guides participants through the enrollment and income verification process and connects them with their community's approved and vetted solar company to begin the design and planning of the solar installation. Bright Neighborhoods ensures that participants work with an approved solar company, with the necessary skills and stringent guidelines to ensure a transparent, safe, and positive experience. The solar company team that was selected to work within the Waukegan area includes Up South Energy, Straight Up Solar, and Ailey Solar Electric. Once those panels are installed on a participant's roof or property, their electricity is generated from their solar installation, so they ultimately pay less on their electric bills. Waukegan was selected to participate in this initiative for many reasons, but most notably, this community has a high percentage of income-eligible residents and homeowners. Additionally, Illinois Solar for All ensures that projects also focus on areas that stand to benefit the most from access to solar energy, based on the principles that all people should be protected from pollution and have an equal right to clean and healthy environments. Because of these principles and Waukegan's history with the area's retired coal-fired power plant, Waukegan has been designated as an environmental justice community. And this program is a big step to providing a clean and healthy environment for its residents. I'm here today to ask that you support this program and educate your residents of this opportunity. We have open enrollment through March 2024, and I'm currently working alongside Community Action Partnership of Lake County, as well as other community partners, to help educate residents on this initiative and the basics of solar energy and how it can help reduce, or how it impacts a home's utility bills through a variety of outreach events. I'm happy to discuss this initiative further and with you all outside of this meeting. The reach and trust that you have with your community is an important piece to us reaching the many eligible residents in Waukegan who can benefit this program. I thank you for your time and hope to work with you in the next few months. And I have an exhibit for you all with more information and my contact information. Thank you.
Rabbi Michael Ben Joseph.
Good evening to the mayor, city council, and the residents of Waukegan. My name is Rabbi Michael Ben Yosef, human rights activist, anti-violence activist in Chicago. I'm here once again to speak on behalf of the life of Marcellus Danette, murdered by former police officer Dante Salinas. I haven't been here for several months after being in an accident, but today I'm here to use my birthday for service to honor the life of Marcellus that has been ignored in this city. Mayor Taylor, I've seen you on the news, that you participated in many worthy causes. The rededication of the headstones at the Congregation Am Echad Jewish Cemetery in Waukegan. You offered a public address to the Jewish community, and I was very proud. Still, at the same time, I was wondering, where was that effort for Marcellus? You spoke eloquently for the rededication, but you did not speak on behalf of Marcellus. You stood publicly with the Jewish community, but you didn't stand with the grieving mother. You demonstrated that your mayorship to the Jewish community was unwavering. You turned your back on the family of Marcellus when they need you the most. What is Hanukkah? The Hanukkah festival is fast approaching. The theme of Hanukkah is to commemorate the time when the temple was destroyed by the Greeks. And the Jews had only one trace of oil to burn that lasted 8 days to fix the temple. The menorah light is designed to emulate a space so it can grow. This advocacy for Marcellus is purposely and unapologetically done to illuminate this space because his life mattered. As I close, may his justice come soon for him and his family. May his family that grieves find strength and comfort and peace at this hour. This is my hope and this is my prayer. All lives don't matter until Black lives matter.
Thank you, sir. Ed Holm, please. Mr. Ed Holm?
Good evening. I am here in reference to the leaf pickup. We got rid of waste management, and you got new people in. Now, when you got rid of waste management, you gave them till December 1st. As you can see, when you drive around Waukegan, it looks like hell. The leaves are all over. Now, I was told by 3 people that they had a troubled backup, a backup of some sort, that they couldn't get things done. Up in Bonnybrook, where I live, I haven't seen a sucker truck in over 3.5 weeks. I called the manager down at the city yards today, and he said our trucks, being City of Waukegan trucks, will be doing the pickup now. Well, what happens to the monies that are paid to waste management? Did they get some kind of deal where after the 1st there's no more pickup by them, but they got paid for the whole year? Was there an escrow account of some sort that you could hold the money back? Nobody can explain this to me. And I'm sure the folks up here negotiated the contract. Were they not thinking about, oh, there's leaves in December, but Waste Management hasn't picked up anything since the 13th of November. This is what bedazzles me. How can people let the companies, Waste Management, multi-billion-dollar corporation, walk all over you people? Because now, the two guys that I know that have the sucker trucks at the Public Works, they're going to be working time and a half on Saturdays. And what happens if a snowstorm comes next week? It's going to be 4 years ago that happened. You had leaves all over, but nobody wanted Waste Management to finish the job. I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Chris Lanning.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Lanning. As Mayor Taylor said, I do multiple things here within the city. I am a resident of Sheridan Road. I live at 946 on the corner of Sheridan and Ridgeland in one of the older homes of Waukegan. I also own one of the largest estate sale companies in Northern Illinois, Balderdash Estate Sales, and I also am the vice president for the Waukegan Historical Society. And so, as mentioned earlier, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, we have the Waukegan Historical Society Tour of Homes. My house is one of the homes that is on the tour, is decorated completely for Christmas, inside and out. We also have a house located at 1031 North Sheridan Road that will also be open, as well as the Haynes House Museum at Bowen Park. The purpose of the house walk this year, we have not done a house walk since before COVID. Obviously, COVID changed a lot of things for all of us. So we decided to bring it back with a special event and do a holiday tour of homes as our end-of-the-year fundraiser for the Waukegan Historical Society. And as many people know, we are currently working in partnership with the Waukegan Park District to reopen the Carnegie Library downtown. And so obviously it takes a considerable amount of people, time, and money. And so in order for the Waukegan Historical Society, a 100% volunteer-run organization within the city, to preserve the history of our great town, funds are needed to continue to help us with our operation. So if anybody is interested in coming out this weekend and supporting us, tickets are available online at waukeganhistorical.org. Or if you'd like to see me after the city council meeting, I do have tickets with me this evening. As Madam Clerk bought a couple of tickets for me before the meeting. Thank you very much. We hope that you can come out and support us. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. The next 5 people will be Anthony Johnson, Wygenia Briscoe, Rayon Edwards, Andrea Moore, and Lakeisha Robinson. Anthony Johnson, Wygenia Briscoe, Rayon Edwards, Andrea Moore, and Lakeisha Robinson. Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
My name is Anthony Johnson. I'm a resident of the 2nd Ward. I would like to pass this out to the City Council, if that's possible. In November, the first week of the City Council meeting, I addressed 2 issues. One was my retention ditch that is in the back of our house at 11th Court. I want to thank Mr. Rodriguez of the Waukegan Code Inspector for giving me a call and coming out and showing concern concerning this matter. However, I don't think the situation has been resolved because nobody has dealt with the situation if it should happen again. I would like for somebody to come to that retention ditch and put no dumping, that this is not a dump space, this is not a place where you can, just dump your trash whenever you want, because people live in that area. The second thing, I would like to thank Mr. Garland, who is of the Waukegan Engineers, for sitting down and talking to me, and the pictures that I'm showing you now, looking at these pictures and saying that he was going to make this a top priority. I am very, very concerned about our streets. in those photos that you see, the first one is the street on 12th Street. The second one is a street on 11th Court. Two totally different pictures, as you can see. And as the gentleman just spoke of about leaves, no leaves have been picked up in our area, not just on 11th Court, but in our area, period. And I'm concerned that if I do not address this situation, which has been going on for 11 years, that I have been trying to get people to look at this street on 11th Court, as you can see, there's no ADA sidewalks as it is on 12th Street. There's no curves on the street. The street is not paved correctly, etc. And I would like somebody to really, really look at this situation. And once again, I thank Mr. Garland for taking the time out to look at it and say that it's top priority, that he's going to get on it. I will believe him until he gives me a reason not to. But I cannot address Mr. Guzman, who is my ward, because he came to that place in the retention ditch, and he looked at it. And he gave his card to the resident in which this trash was put at. And he gave him the card, and the resident called him, and he has not gotten back. So you may do check and balances, Mr. Guzman, but you don't check your phone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Wygenia Briscoe.
Good afternoon. I just want to continue on what the previous resident had said regarding what's happening here as far as the aldermen are concerned. We have some experienced and educated aldermen up here. Guzman and Felix, you guys really need to step up. The bar needs to be raised. Guzman, you made a comment, and if I'm not here, I always go back and look at the city council meetings. You told someone, you should take the smirk off your face, or if not, I can change my vote. That is really not becoming of a professional alderman or leader within our community, and I think that that is very unnecessary and uncalled for as a leader within the community. There are meetings that I understand that take place with the chief of staff, and Felix and Guzman, I would suggest you guys really need to listen. We have some dynamite staff here at this city. They're educated, they're experienced. Listen to them. They can help guide you through so that as you sit up here, you can make decisions that are becoming of a governmental position that you have been voted to take place. So this is just my suggestion as a resident and also as an educated woman within this community.
Thank you, Wygenia.
One last
Rayon.
thing. My Alderman, 3rd Ward 1, thank you so much for what you're doing to get the homeless off the street. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Wygenia. Rayon Edwards.
Good evening, council, mayor. You know, as I said in this meeting tonight, I listened to you talk. I'm listening, you highlight about a lot of the things that the city is doing. I come up here every meeting and I speak to y'all. I quite frequently tell y'all about the things that I do in this community for the kids. Most of you all have been in these spaces. It saddens me, though, when I walk in a meeting and your chief of staff, and I'm going to say it, comes to me and say, you or him or the city cannot personally donate. Every event that I've done in this community, I've gotten some from your police department or your fire department. I can't even get a call back from them. And it ain't their fault. I want to make that very clear. That police chief's so scared. We done had 3, 4 of them since you've been in office. He don't know what to do. He damn sure don't want to ruffle no feathers here because he'll be the next one out. Because we're going to talk about it, because every event that I've ever done in this community, I've been able to pour from their budgets. I've been able to get something donated from them. But see, when I see youth concerts and all these other things that address these white kids, y'all break y'all neck for them. Same thing with the Latino kids. I don't see nobody giving a damn about my kids, and I'm angry right now. I'm very angry. Because y'all come in my spaces and you want to take pictures so you can post them all over social media like you did something. We're not having that there. I don't accept that. Now it's getting ready to be election time. Now everybody kicking up their gear. Even for you. So I'm saying to you, and I'm saying to this city, you get ready, sweetheart. Because you thought you had a fight the last time. I'm going to give you a run for your money, and I think you know what I'm capable of because I helped you get in that seat. So I want you to understand that, and to you, Mr. Guzman, you're a bully, bro. You really is. You disgusting. You know, we treat this like a test. You do your homework before you take the test. You called them after you voted because you let another resident tell you something because you don't want nobody talking about you. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That stuff that you be doing and how you be trying to talk to folks change your smirk or you could change your vote. Bro, you don't run nothing. Nothing. You're one vote. One. You may be able to trick Felix and get him to do what you wanted to do because he definitely followed, but you one vote and you need to understand that, bro. We don't work for you. You work for us. Because of us, you sitting in that seat. And so I think you need to show us some respect when you speak it to us. You not me. You can't do what I do. You the professional, not me, sir. You represent the city. I represent me. And to all y'all, do your homework. Do your homework. It's not hard. Very easy.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Andrea Moore.
Hello, my name is Andrea Moore. I was once a resident under Waukegan Housing Authority until I was retaliated against for my attempts to organize residents as the city moved forward with executing the Catalyst project, the rehabilitation. It's narrated in the South Sheridan Revitalization Plan, which is a city plan that was published in 2016. The mayor, Newsom, Bolton, these are persons who are very familiar with these plans because they voted on them. And when they voted on them, they insisted that it was reasonable or very important to actually communicate with the persons who would be most impacted or affected with these plans, and that would be the tenants. And so far tonight, for instance, when we reappointed the volunteers who are serving the community, I never heard anyone talk about the community in which they serve, the jurisdiction in which they cover. In fact, the mayor said, I'm satisfied. She doesn't live in public housing. Alderman Bolton said, I know because it's my ward. She doesn't visit the location. In fact, I called her in 2020 when we were very scared and worried about, again, the rehabilitation project, a very major and costly project being executed during the pandemic when you are most challenged within society. We are the disadvantaged, so to speak, and that's why we live in public housing, because that's all the government would allow us to have at any point. No one checked on us. The people who are here reappointing people, including the people who are being reappointed, they don't check in. Tenants don't know their name, how the organization works, and or why when we complain, no one wants to voice that or actually look into that. And in fact, why did we wait 2 weeks to push it back if we just already knew that we were just going to reappoint them? Was it like a hoax to say, okay, again, we'll make people think that we're deliberating, we're researching, we're trying to find the facts, follow complaints, right? The mayor's received them from me, emails from other tenants. Are we not worthy of attention and or consideration as citizens in Waukegan? My 4-year-old, my 9-year-old, who were also evicted with me and now are homeless with me. But we clap and we parade and we hooray. Guzman has heard my plea for consideration and help and to drop the discrimination and the antics and she's talking about grant money, right? We got this lady from Wadsworth. She gets to sit at home in Wadsworth and get money for Waukegan, right? She lives in Wadsworth. That's why the mayor is for getting everybody on the outside to come in and further cause chaos and confusion versus actually servicing the people who need it the most. I'm someone who volunteered as commissioner. The mayor totally ignored me, never responded to me. The chief of staff, who is not responsible for appointing, because again, she said she's satisfied, it's up to her, right? It's her choice. He gave me a very condescending email telling me no, but wait. I'm a CLC student. Focus is business, small business management, entrepreneurship to be exact. I've taken HR classes, project management, supervision, I've even held more meetings, tenant meetings, in the past 3 years than the resident commissioner, Kitty Harden, who's supposed to be voted by the tenants. They don't vote. She doesn't hold meetings. There's a very close knit, so she said if it ain't broken, don't, worry about it, I guess.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Right?
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Lakeisha Roberts.
Hi, I'm Lakeisha Robinson. I've been a Barwell tenant since 2012, May the 25th, 2012. So for you to say, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. The RAD project was put in place for the community to be better. How can that happen if there are deaths since the RAD project? Deaths at Barwell, gun violence, murders, cockroaches. How? It's broken. We've been giving public comment for a year now about this. Not only that, I spoke to one of the commissioners, Illinois Ms. Murphy. She said they only get involved when their legal team get involved. Why should it get that far? It shouldn't get that far. Not only that, I had an order of protection against me from one of the commissioners that was dismissed. They committed perjury in the Lake County Courthouse on that stand. They committed perjury. Once they got caught in their lie, they tried to recant their story. I never seen somebody try to change their story on the stand and cover it up with another lie. Tenants are facing criminal charges just for making complaints. Retaliation is real. You got tenants that's scared to come forward because of this. Andrea, example. I'm example. So I don't know where you get, if it ain't broken, it shouldn't be fixed. I don't know.
Thank you, ma'am. The last three, Margaret Carrasco, Laura Delgado, and Clyde McLemore. Margaret Carrasco with guests, Laura Delgado, and Clyde McLemore. Margaret, go ahead.
Si quieren ustedes se paran allá. Here, sit right there. Wow. Just a second here. Okay, ahí enfrente de los dos. Okay, this way. Allá. Okay, it's okay. All right. Dale vuelta. Okay. Good evening. We are here tonight on behalf of Fiestas Patrias. First, the real deal about the city's new business grants money, it's only for the mayor's campaign supporters. We, Fiestas Patrias, applied for a business license for Poodle Football, which we owned 3 months ago, called, email, and nothing. So do you see how you get it? That's how they prevent you from getting the funds. 10 persons wanted to apply, but were told they would not be considered for the city's boards tonight. So these appointments tonight are just a shameful farce. To the Latino aldermen, you have the same rights as any other alderman up here. To ignore Lynn Florian's demeaning comments and obnoxious noises. She doesn't control you. Florian, stop slandering our organization and Latinos again. Yes, we are meeting at La Canoa. Let me see your face. And it's not to talk about the mayor, that's a lie. But it's rather to organize registering 2,000 new Latino voters and to organize the best Christmas event, which we're here tonight. Okay. We would like to invite all the vendors.
Quisiéramos invitar a todas las personas que nos puedan ayudar.
And we need sponsors.
Y necesitamos patrocinadores.
This year we did invest $1,000 on mascot costumes.
Este año nosotros invertimos $1,000 en los trajes de como Elmo y
Cookie Monster.
Redbury.
Because our Waukegan kids deserve it.
Porque los niños de Waukegan lo merecen.
And we want to personally invite you to our big annual Santa Fiesta.
Y queremos invitarlos para nuestro gran evento de diciembre.
On December 23rd, Saturday.
que es un sábado 23 de diciembre
at Paris Banquet Hall,
en el Salón París.
only because we contacted Genesee Theater and we could never get a response. We wanted to have it there.
Nosotros lo estamos realizando ahí porque nosotros pedimos la autorización de hacerlo en el cine de Genesee y nunca contestaron, no nos aprobaron.
So we are instead have to have it at Paris Banquet Hall in North Chicago.
Y por eso lo estamos realizando en el Salón París, en Chicago.
Other costumes, mascot costumes, we have Snow White, Big Bird, and Hermit the Frog.
Tenemos además más trajes como...
Thank you, Miss Margaret. Laurel Delgado.
Nos gustaría invitar a la comunidad de Waukegan a nuestras posadas de diciembre. Próximamente les estaremos diciendo los lugares.
I don't know. She just wants to invite the community to the posada, the Latino traditions for Christmas celebration events. Oh, okay, that's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Laura. Clyde McLemore.
Okay, just go that way. Go there.
Clyde McLemore, Black Lives Matter, Lake County. January the 2nd, 2024, Black Lives Matter will be doing a skating with family and fun. It's all free. It's our second one. There's a flyer out. If you got the flyer, this is it. It's all free. We go, if you need transportation, they pick up at 2504 Washington, which is Washington and Macquarie in our parking lot, or you could drive down yourself, which will be held at the Star skating ring. This is something that we done it before. We're just going to do it again. I was at the Live Free event grand opening on Saturday. So I saw Alderman Bolton there. I saw Alderman Newsom there. I saw the mayor there. The thing of it is, why is it that our mayor, who's a Caucasian, everywhere she got to go, she got to have a police with her? Why are you such like a Karen? Do you know what a Karen is? That's what I felt like. And everybody in there was like, well, where's the mayor? There's the mayor. When the event was over, she shot her ass up out of there. You know, she don't want to be around black people, but this don't rub off. It don't. It's serious, it don't. You know, I have to have it. I didn't choose to be black, I just got lucky. You know, it don't rub off. But you the mayor, you a public figure here in Waukegan. People need to know who you are. You never in your office. They can't come up here and talk to you. They can't even come up and speak to you unless they be like bold like me and say, forget this little thing here. We ain't never had this here. You know what I'm saying? If you're scared of the people, stay your ass in Libertyville. Resign. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, that concludes the audience time.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Consent agenda. Can I have a motion to hear all of the consent agenda items, A, B, and C?
So moved.
Okay, Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Florian. Okay, item A, a motion to approve vendor payments dated December 4th, 2023, in the amount of $1,734,900. Yeah, didn't take a vote on that. I need a motion. We had the motion. We need to take the vote to do the consent agenda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to pull out one of the line items from the bill run, one of the checks.
Okay, you can't pull a line item out. You can pull the, I assume you're looking at vendor payments?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will hear items B and C under the consent agenda. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk. This is for the consent agenda approval of items B and C to be heard.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item B, a motion to approve the regular payroll dated December 1st, 2023, in a total amount of $1,895,946.56. Item C, a motion to approve miscellaneous payroll dated December 1st, 2023, in a total amount of $362,330.59. Any questions to those motions? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That was for
so
the consent.
the prior vote was just to establish a consent agenda. In the future, to establish a consent agenda can be done by a voice vote, but the vote on the actual items, which is what is up now, does require a roll call vote. So you'll need a first and a second to approve items B and C.
So moved. Second.
Newsome and Florian.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion pass.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item A, can I have a motion, a first and a second?
So moved. I second.
Okay, Florian and Bolton. Questions to the motion? Alderman Turner?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to pull out line item or correction. It's check number 503372. This is for Roberti Community House, a pickleball fundraising tournament or something for $1,000. I'd like to pull that out for individual vote.
Okay. So what that was for is we have in our budget that the alderman approved back, some of the aldermen, not all of you were here. There's contributions. And what those contributions are for is we give to not-for-profits, whether there's things that we can do for donations. So we can buy tables to an event. Some of those events you've been at. We can donate to certain things, and this was one of them, and it was for Roberti House. We generally don't do more than $1,000. That's usually our cap, but that's what that is for. This was an event that they sponsored, and it was something that we've donated to. We've donated to them, or to this fund, for well over 10 years. I think Alderman Newsome can probably give you a better history, but at least 10 that I'm aware of. So that was something that was done for that cause. I know you've brought up about not making contributions before, but that is something that has already been put into the budget and was approved when the budget was done.
Right. Thank you, Mayor. So, excuse me. Again, I'm here to help protect the interests of the taxpayers, and I don't see any validity in giving away taxpayer dollars just because. That's one. Then, two, it begs the question, how are these donations decided upon and awarded? I just heard two organizations, Mr. Rayon Edwards and Mrs. Margaret Carrasco, talked about their their organizations and they're raising funds and doing things, giving out gifts. I'm involved with Pure Heart Ministries in an event on the 23rd. We're not getting $1,000. So there are any number of organizations. BAM, Black Abolition Movement for the Mind. They could use the $1,000 donation. So there are any number of organizations that do tons of good work. There are literally thousands of people working quietly behind the scenes that don't receive taxpayer dollars. We don't pay taxes to the city of Waukegan to give away to organizations. Charity comes from the heart and from your pocket, not from the pocket of everyone else. So this is why I'm objecting to this. I really think we need to take a hard look at the overall process and concept of just giving away taxpayer dollars.
Mayor, may I say something?
Can I clarify one thing? Is one, you asked what are the stipulations in getting a donation. Is number one, you have to be a 501c. If you are not an established 501c, then that automatically rules you out. If you have your organization has a police complaint against them or something like that, that's something that we can't get involved in.
Can I give you an example of what I'm talking about? So we're going to give these people $1,000, right? Now, Rayon Edwards, he called me. He said, hey, Alderman Turner, can I give him a donation? I said, yeah, sure, I'll give you a donation.
Yeah.
And you'll get that tonight. But my point is that we collect taxes from our citizens, and then we arbitrarily decide who gets a gift of our tax dollars. Our tax dollars, you can use that $1,000 to pay overtime to have leaves picked up. You could do overtime for traffic enforcement for the cops. There's any number of things that, we should be focusing our resources, monetary, labor, whatever, personnel resources on, in delivering the services that the city is required to do. That's our mission, to deliver certain services to our constituents. Our mission is not to give away monies.
Well, we have done this, like I said, for years because a lot of these organizations do a lot for the city. And so many of them would not be able to get sponsorships, and that's what we do. Now, like I said, there are stipulations as far as they have to be a not-for-profit and registered with the state. They also have to be in good standing with the city. There's stipulations that have to happen with that. We can't just, Susie Smith wants to come and get money from the city.
Well, how about this? How about everyone up here donate $100, and that'll be what, $1,300, $1,400?
And many do.
Right? But so not the taxpayer dollars. How about we all take it out of our pocket to give to charity?
And many still do. And as far as what you're saying, as far as you can still privately give to an organization if you want to, but you can't use city funds for that if they are not a registered not-for-profit. So, but I can tell you there's many aldermen up here who do make large contributions,
I know, I'm one
myself.
of them.
You know what I mean?
I'm one of them.
So I think to assume that the aldermen are not.
I don't assume that. I'm just saying that it's improper for the government to give taxpayer dollars to an organization. We have a penchant for giving away money up here, right? So we have a fleet of luxury SUVs that we paid $250,000 for. We provide free office space to the Chamber of Commerce and free internet service. And now we're giving thousands of dollars, this ain't the only one, thousands of dollars a year to other organizations. Things that are beyond the purview of the responsibilities of city government. That's my point. We should not be giving away this money.
No, I think that's your opinion, but.
It is my opinion. That's what I stated. That's my point.
Any other questions, Alderman Bolton?
Yeah, I was just going to reiterate. I had the same question, and I understand, like I said, we've already voted on contributions that we are giving to organizations that are 501c3. So I understand that is the standard, my understanding, that how we decide who gets what. And it's true, I don't make donations too. And we get a stipend, so part of our stipend, we give donations to support our community.
Other questions to the motion? Okay. Yeah. But you just have, the only item is the one, right, that you could pull out. The rest of the vendor payments would have to be made anyway. But, I mean, this has already been paid, so. Roll call, please.
What are we voting on?
Just to clarify the motion, what was pulled out was item 4A, motion to approve vendor payments dated December 4th, 2023, in the amount of $1,734,971.88. There has not been a motion to amend that in any way, so the motion as it stands is just to pay that in its entirety.
So, no, I made a motion to pull that specific check out.
I don't believe it.
I think
I
it's
don't-
already been paid, right?
Well, but hold on. I don't believe that motion has been made or seconded, but you can make it now if you'd like.
So wait a minute. Now someone down there said that the check has already been paid. So we're voting after the fact? We're voting to approve?
It's a question.
Goes out tomorrow, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Alderman Bolton. Florence, can you
Sorry,
speak
he
in the
needs
mic?
to, sorry, I didn't have my mic on. He needs to make a specific motion to hold this check out of the vendor payments if that's what he wants to do.
Right. That's what I'd like to do. I make a motion to withhold.
Okay, then you need a second to it. If you don't get a second, then the motion can't be heard. Okay.
All right, I make a motion to withhold check number 503372.
Okay, there needs to be a second. Okay, there being no second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
And
This is on the
just to-
amendment.
Yeah, so this is a motion to amend item 4A to approve the vendor payments dated December 4th, 2023, in the amount of $1 million, well, actually, I don't know what the amount is. It's 1,000 less than the number that's on the agenda. And withholding, what is the check number, Alderman Turner? 503,317. 372. That is the motion that is on the table. If that motion is approved, then that's what will be paid, and that other check will be withheld. If this motion fails, we will go back to the primary motion 4A, which would be to approve the vendor payment in its entirety.
Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
No.
Alderman Hayes.
No.
Bolton.
No.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
No.
Newsom.
Nay.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Ayes have it, it fails.
The amended motion fails. We're back to the primary motion 4A, motion to approve vendor payments dated December 4th, 2023, in the amount of $1,734,971.88 or 88 cents.
Do we need a first and second, or we already have that?
No, you need a first.
You know what? I don't know if we ever got a first and a second on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Florian Bolton.
Really?
Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
This is to vote forward, right? Because it fell. Aye, aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
No.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion passed.
There being no reports or old business, new business, I believe item A is being held over. Am I correct? That came out of committee with the franchise agreement?
You know, it was voted on in committee, but I believe at this point, it sounds like it needs to be held over so that a term can be ironed out, if that's correct.
City Council has asked me to get clarity on the fate of the public access channels and the connection. We've reached out to the Comcast rep and are getting a better understanding of how that works, given the provisions of the code. That will be brought back to you, if that's what you'd like, in 2 weeks.
Can I say something? This was my question tonight, and I apologize especially to you, Diane Verratti, because you talked about us doing our homework. This was a 30-some page contract. I didn't have time to read it until yesterday, and I didn't get this question in my head until late yesterday. And I try not to email people on Sunday because then sometimes they're emailing me back at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights, and I always feel bad when I do that to our staff. So I'd like to apologize for this coming up and being held over. But the contract is one David explained to me that was written 20 years ago, and they didn't change it. They just did the same exact contract, and we don't have a public access channel anymore. But it's mentioned in this contract. So that's why I asked for clarity, because I don't want to be called out down the road for saying, why did you approve this contract with the public access channel when we don't have one? So my apologies for this waiting till City Council for this to happen, but it's just the way it rolled out, so I apologize.
Can I have a first and a second to hold it over?
I'll first.
I'll make the second.
Okay. Alderman Florian was the first, second was Alderman Donnerworth? Turner? Okay, sorry.
I have a question. It's my understanding that our next meeting in 2 weeks will be the 18th. By default, by the 16th, they're going to pass it anyway. It's my understanding that it'll move forward anyway. It was negotiated by the mayor's caucus or something years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't negotiated by us personally. It was
Yeah.
voted, yeah.
So it's like a intergovernmental thing. So it's not just Waukegan.
Well, we still have to individually, our specific agreement ends on December 15th, which is before the
Next council meeting.
Yeah, before the next council meeting. I think what happens is, in the interim, is that we would default back to basically a basic level of service for about 2 or 3 days. That doesn't change anything for the customers, but I apologize that I wasn't able to provide you clarity with this tonight. I don't know if we're going to actually be able to change the language of the contract, because, as stated, it was negotiated by the Metropolitan Mayor's Conference. It is the same agreement that is being entered into by over 200 communities. And if the concern is that we don't want to have any sort of interruptions in service, which I do not believe would happen, you can approve it tonight, and I can still commit to coming back to you with at least an explanation of what has happened with the PEG channels and how that relates to the provisions of this contract. So you can hold it over, you can vote on it, but I don't know if we're going to actually be able to substantively change the terms of this contract in 2 weeks.
What I'm positive of is you're not going to get them to supply a channel, because they're just not doing that anymore. So the best is it would just be taken out the contract. But right now, we have a motion on the floor to hold it over.
You don't actually need to vote on the holdover.
Right.
And just to clarify, Mayor, what I've actually, the information that I got since community development is that a channel will be provided, but the city would have to pay for an actual physical connection, which I don't know what the cost of that is. We'd have to work out with media services on what the cost of that would be. But most of our multimedia work these days, and the focus has been to transmit live most of our meetings on the web. And so whether the city would want to budget additional cost to continue to provide cable service is a decision that the city council could make at a future date.
Yeah, I should have clarified that because they were providing it free of charge before.
So no communities are getting these unless they pay for it themselves, is what you're saying?
Unless they had a connection already existing. And one of the questions that I have out to the rep is what happened to the connection that was previously, and why has that changed? What changed from when they were providing the broadcast? Unfortunately, I do not have complete information for you tonight.
So basically, on the contract, everything is going to stay the same, and we might just have to pay for a channel, is basically what it is.
Pay for a
because it's going to stay, and then we would have to pay.
Basically, pay for a connection, which would pay for a connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because we have other ways of people getting it, we don't have to pay for it. So that's, for some communities, that is the only way that they were getting their council meetings. We've had multiple ways for people to get our meetings. So did we want to stay with holding it over, or what do you want to do, vote on it?
I'll withdraw my request to hold it over. If it's not going to change anything, there's no sense in screwing things up in
Okay,
any
so
way.
can I have that a first and a second to vote on it?
I'll make the first.
Alderman Turner, second.
Second.
Alderman Martinez. Okay. Item A, a resolution approving a franchise agreement with Comcast. And this matter was presented in the Community Development Committee here tonight. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item B, can I have a first and a second?
I so move.
Alderman
Second.
Newsom, second. Alderman Bolton, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a settlement agreement and payment in the amount of $110,000 in resolution of Corinthian Burns versus the City of Waukegan, 22 CV 02833, and this matter was heard in the Government Oversight and Operations Committee tonight. Any questions to the motion? I think you were all briefed on this.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't remember what this was about. Can you just give me real brief, one bullet point, bang, what was it about?
I'll let you.
This was a lawsuit brought as a civil rights action regarding basically that was resolved through settlement. It was a federal lawsuit, and there was a full briefing in the.
I got it now. Thanks, Stu.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no ordinances, Alderman time.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I had the pleasure to attend the gala celebrating the Staben House last weekend, and we have so many of these events in our community, but it was great to see everyone out and supporting such a worthwhile organization. This coming Saturday is one for Haas's. This weekend, I forget exactly where it's being held, but I think that's the last one for the year. So I encourage everyone to come out and support them, and be patient with the leaves. I know everyone is up in arms about it, as usual. I've said before, I don't know why we even come out with the schedule, because we just really can't stick to it. No one knows when the leaves are going to fall. No one knows how long it's going to take them to pick them up. I have been getting great feedback the last couple days, Director Garland, now that your crews are out, know that they are very appreciative of the work that they've been doing. So hopefully they get around to the whole city before the weather completely changes. But we thank everyone for their patience and hang in there. Hopefully, in the next week, it'll be all cleared up. So, thank you.
Alderman Hayes.
Pass.
Alderman Bolton.
Yeah, I just want to say I attended the JIC ribbon cutting that received their grant to serve those that are in need, especially our population that is experiencing mental health issues and trauma. It was an excellent event, and I encourage those of the First Ward to get more involved in supporting events like that. Thank you. That's all I have.
Alderman Guzman.
Good evening. I just want to say a couple things. Okay, I want to apologize for everything that has gone through with this changeover from waste management to LRS. I understand that it's a huge mess. We've listened to a couple people today. I've had multiple complaints, not just leaf pickup. We're talking garbage pickup. We're talking delays in picking up cans. We're talking on special pickups. These are special pickups that people have to pay to get their extra garbage taken out. It's just been a horrible experience with this whole thing. And the city decided to have Public Works move forward with picking up the extra leaves, which I have been hearing they're doing a great job. I understand it's going to take some time, but we need to stay strong, and it's going to get fixed. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So that in mind, I'd like to put a motion for amnesty on any citation that's given by code enforcement in the fault of waste management and the transfers over of LSR to stop any citation from the moment that we repealed the contract with waste management until, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks from now for LRS to get on top of everything and City Public Works to move forward and get everything cleaned up.
Second.
I think that's already happening.
No. People are getting citations because of different other stuff, and I want that stopped. Well, having extra garbage on the side, garbage cans, and so on and so forth.
Can we
So
get
every
clarification from
citation.
Director, from Commissioner Salas?
Well, I've had, like I said, multiple complaints about the whole thing. It just, all it is if you had a citation for having this stuff, it would just go away. That's it, because of what happened with the whole transition period from waste management to LRS. That's it, nothing else. I mean, if that's the only thing I'm asking for. It goes away.
So, just as I understand it, the alderman is making a motion that would like, you can't take final action on anything tonight that wasn't on the agenda.
Exactly, 2 weeks from now.
But you're asking that the city council consider a resolution or ordinance which would eliminate citations arising from, how would you describe it?
Anything that comes to do that affected by the transition over from waste management to LRS.
Okay, so citations to individual properties that resulted from a deficiency in collection arising from the transition of waste haulers. Okay, so that is a motion to put something on the next meeting. There was a second by Alderman Felix.
Well,
Can we just ask?
Commissioner South, we just asked you the question here. You come up here, I'll ask it for you.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. Is code enforcement writing people tickets for having garbage outside of their garbage can if they don't have the new garbage can, or they might have a other garbage can that they were told to put the garbage in bags and put them out?
But not for that type of garbage, but there have been a couple of incidents where we have written citations for people that have the special pickup garbage, and they never got picked up, that never got picked up. We wrote about 13 of those since the beginning of the end of October, and most of the people complied whether the garbage company came, picked it up, or the people moved it themselves. And we also had a few people call us and say, hey, we're having an issue getting Waste Management to pick up the garbage. Can I have more time? And we tell them, just move your stuff back closer to your house and we'll let it go. But there have been a couple people who never reached out, never did anything, but they had a whole bunch of garbage on their front parkway. And I'm talking an exorbitant amount.
Okay, thank you.
There'd be no way for us, the way the Alderman mentioned, there'd be no way for us to know that this is Waste Management's fault or somebody else's fault, and we'd have to take somebody's word for it, so, okay? Thank you.
So, put that on there?
There's a motion and a second to put it on the agenda in 2 weeks.
Okay.
That would need to be voted on to agree to put it on the agenda.
Now, I don't know, Alderman Guzman, if you'd be able to vote on that.
That's fine.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he be able to vote?
Because one of the citations is on his property in the 7th Ward.
I heard Alderman Guzman say that he wanted it for the next couple of weeks. Well, 2 weeks is going to pass before we could even vote on it.
Correct.
So, I mean, we're extending it to the 18th. Well, that's 2 weeks.
Yes, but it would retrofit all the way from when we did the changeover from Waste Management to LRS. So whenever the city council voted to cancel the contract for Waste Management, it would go into effect. with
Well,
LRS.
we didn't vote to cancel. Well, the contract ended on November 30th, period. That was part of their contract. So it wasn't a vote that we made to eliminate the contract. That was the end of their contract, period.
Correct. And
So
then
we just started December 1st with the new contract. So I take this to understand from Mr. Sellis is that people may have had, Waste Management was supposed to pick up special stuff for them, and they didn't. Is that what happened? And they were, and Waste Management was paid to pick those items up?
No, they were not. No, because they're supposed to give you a bill. They're supposed to come out there and tell you how much is it. You don't just tell people to come pick up the stuff. You have to have a bill, because then the bill could be astronomical.
I
So
thought thought you had to order a special pickup ahead of time, and it's judged by cubic feet of materials that you have.
Exactly. They ask you how much yardage or cubic feet you have, and then you're like, well, I don't know, just come over here and do it. So they come out there, and then they come out there, and they look at how much stuff you have, which takes 5 to 7 days to come out there. Then they tell you, okay, so this is how much it's going to cost, and then you say yay or nay, or you could grab it and remove it yourself. Correct.
Came out, nobody,
Let's just say they were very unpleasant.
Where are we at? What
This
are we
looks
doing?
like it's more of a personal issue than a...
No, it's a whole city issue, because you have complaints left and right, and you have multiple people getting cited. Okay, so that's it. I mean, I don't understand how hard is this?
Let's call for the vote on this.
What are we voting on?
To help
There was-
Alderman
there was-
Guzman get out
there
of his
was-
ticket.
Station back and forth.
Just so I understand, just to clarify where we are, and not to interrupt the debate, the motion was to place a resolution or ordinance, and we would determine that later, in 2 weeks in the next city council meeting, to create an amnesty for persons who were cited as a result of trash or objects being left out, directly arising from the transition from waste management to Lake Shore.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Florian.
Can I ask one question? Like, are we allowed to make a motion that personally benefits us?
I think for a question of personal benefit or conflict of interest, I'm much more, the state is much more concerned with final action rather than whether something is considered.
Okay.
Do you want to consider it or not?
So this is just to.
I'll vote yes, just to put
in
it on
two-
the agenda.
2 weeks to discuss.
I'm a no.
So we're voting to put it on the agenda, but it's going to automatically pass. Oh, okay.
It doesn't mean it'll
I mean-
automatically pass.
No, this would just be to consider.
For discussion.
In 2 weeks, there will be a resolution that you could vote up or down on whether to grant this amnesty or not that Alderman Guzman is discussing.
I say no.
What was your vote, Alderman?
I'm going to say yes, for the
Yes.
respect for my peer.
All right. Guzman.
Recommend you not vote on it, but that's up to you.
I mean, he made the motion, he can't vote against it. So
So that's a yes, sir? That's a yes, thank you. Martinez.
If the issue is caused by the transition, then I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. But I would hope that we would study it and look at the individual, each one of them, make sure that, there's no history there. And
That's a
if it's caused with the transition that we are experiencing, yes.
Thank you, a yes. Felix?
Yes.
Newsom?
Nay.
Turner?
Yes.
Donnerworth?
Yes.
Yeses have it. Is that the end of your remarks, sir?
No, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. Next thing I'd like to say, I'd like to say over the Thanksgiving weekend, I was at a great community giving out turkeys. I actually donated 8 turkeys myself. It was a great time. I mean, they went by fast. I got to feed some families. It was a great time. We moved, and it was a great time. Great time giving away. This is time of giving, so please reach out to your communities. Here comes Christmas time. Give a toy to charity. The Marines do a lot. So this is the time to give a little bit out what we worked so hard throughout the year and give a little bit more. Okay, again, I keep repeating this. It's getting a little darker sooner, so please be mindful with the school buses and children walking around and not passing up those stop signs. Okay, thank you very much.
Alderman Martinez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I'd like to thank Pastor Barb Taylor for her invocation tonight, leading us into prayer. Also, same sentiments I have, like most of the aldermen here. It's just been one big disaster with the leaves. I just hope that it does get better. Myself, I am kind of perturbed to the fact that we are experiencing this. I don't know what happened. I don't know if someone dropped the ball. But the bottom line is that I don't know if we need to take the hit, pay overtime, get a private contractor, but we need this done last week, not wait till the storms and the rains that we are getting. So for my constituents, I hear you. I'm part of it. I'm just as bothered as you are. So I'm hoping that there'll be some kind of resolution soon. All right. Also, just want everyone to know, please, for the holiday season, this time last year in my neighborhood on Tiffany Drive, there was a fire where one of the neighbors unfortunately put lights outside their house. Unfortunately, it caught a short and it burned the garage. So just a heads up, I know it's time to put, if you already haven't put your lights on, or if you are, please be very, very careful read the directions, make sure that you don't have anything that's going to start a fire. So I just want to put it out there. This family, unfortunately, did lose their house, and it took a whole year and a half to finally get it rebuilt and put back. But as a FYI, as a public service announcement, I'm asking everybody to be very careful when you put these lights out, whether it be interior or exterior. Looking forward to the holiday season. Let me see what else I got here. Please know that there's a new snow ordinance. Please oblige by the rules. If you're not supposed to be parking there, please make sure that you remove your vehicle. That way the snow plows can get around, especially in the cul-de-sacs. I'm seeing that a lot. So please make sure that you oblige by the rules when it comes to the new parking ordinance for the winter snow. Okay, also, just make sure also that when you do get your garbage pickup, that you return your bins, put them back in your house in a timely manner. I am seeing a couple instances in my ward where these garbage bins, the garbage has already been picked up, but yet these bins are still out there for 2 or 3 days. I shouldn't have to knock on your door to remind you of that. Be very mindful of that. So make sure that you follow that. Also, let me see here. Just also very happy that tonight that the appointees for the Waukegan Housing Authority did go through. I mean, these are fearless advocate individuals who really have done a lot in our community, helping the undeserved. And for those who do want to be on the board, try again. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but the bottom line is that as a proud commissioner at one time, there's a lot of things that they did. They really put all the efforts into it, so I commend each and every one of them, and I congratulate each one of them. So I'm glad that we were able to put our differences aside and reappoint them. With that being said, I just want everyone to know that if you have any questions or any problems, you can reach me at 847-390-2689. And that's pretty much all I have. I just ask my constituents to be safe, be very mindful, but most of all, let's all be great neighbors. Have a great day.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you, everyone. I do want to start off by, before I talk, I want to say something that has to do with today's meeting. And it's a quote from John F. Kennedy. And I hear it, I play it over and over in my head. Ask not what your, in this case, your city can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do for your city. Meaning, you know, today was a great example where we gave some people certificates for their service, for them taking upon themselves to do something for the city. You know, so I always keep that in mind when I see someone when they're you know, they're trying to do something. You know, in terms of, you know, the Roberti the $1,000 that we're going to give to donate to them. Why not? They're a good partner. They're a good ally they're doing a lot of things. I think that is a good thing that we're doing. We're rewarding these people that are advocating for themselves and have done the work to get themselves to that place. You know, we have standards in our own of who we give money to, and I think that's a good thing. We have standards, and people need to meet those standards. If I would say if people are not willing to work with you, and I think that we should ask ourselves why. What areas do we need to grow in our the way we work and function in order for people to work with us? And it's so easy to point a finger at. It's so easy to say something and leave. It's harder to talk with someone and communicate with people. So with that, I want to say, you know, thank you everyone for if you guys think that we need to do a better job, do our homework, I thank you. Even if you're not in my ward, I will say, you know, I have my phone number. You can always reach out to me. My city phone is 847-390-2693. My personal number, you can call me, 224-733-5762. People that are really wanting to get something done, they call me. They call me and we get things done. So I will say that. You have to notice if there's a problem and the person's not willing to come and talk about that problem, then they're not looking to fix that problem. And also for the people that are wanting to do something, the information is out there. You have to look at structures, how they're built, and that's how you come with an idea. But that's I'm willing to work with people. I think the city's willing to work with people, but we also have standards, and I'm open, and I want to thank everyone who's calling out for us to do better. That's what we're here for. And what I heard something here is that we praise people that have experience. That's what it is. It's experience. We're working our way up there, and we want to do it fast, but it's not everything's going to be perfect. One problem that I do see here in Waukegan is that it's not the lack of organizations doing things for the community, it's the lack of people being aware of these things, because there's so many organizations doing a lot of good things, but people still don't take advantage of them. So some of these organizations have funding, but there's very low attendance to these classes or programs. We need to do a better job as a community to put the voice out there, or be more, do more marketing, more communication to these organizations. People that come here and give their stuff, I appreciate it because you guys are advocating for your organization. So, they'll definitely welcome that, and maybe that's a conversation we can have to better educate the opportunities that we have here in Waukegan. I do want to mention an event. We're going to have a toy giveaway. Community Outreach Waukegan is going to have a toy giveaway at Encore Event Banquet Hall. It's the address is 4555 West York House Road, Wadsworth, Illinois. You have to register to the email. You can look up on Facebook how to register, or just email that organization. Let's see here. I want to point out an organization that's downtown in the 4th Ward, UMA Centers. They give free Spanish classes. If you want to learn how to speak Spanish, it's free. If you want to learn how to speak English, for the people that don't know how to speak English, that have parents or whatever, it's free. Financial literacy programs, it's free. They're there. We have this in Waukegan. They also have a food pantry. No one should go without food. They have a food pantry. We have it here in Waukegan, and there's others. One thing I want to say, it doesn't bother me that people come and say you have to do a better job. That's our job, to improve, to do better. But also, communicate with us. Call me. If you don't get a call back, call us out if we don't answer our phones or respond. But that's what we're here. We're here to serve, and I want to thank everyone for their time.
Alderman Newsom.
Thank you. I just have one item. I just wanted to offer my condolences to the family of Miss Bessie Louise Ingram. She lived on Ridgeland in the 5th Ward for many years, and she passed away November 30th, which was last Friday. What was awesome about Miss Ingram was that I met her 20 years ago, and she was 87. So on December 15th, she would have celebrated 108 years. So, and she was such a free spirit, just awesome woman. At 87, she was still living on her own up until she was over 100. She was living on her own. But I just wanted to offer my condolences to her family. I believe back in 2015, we recognized her when she turned 100. So I wish I have had all the information. I just got it yesterday that she had passed away and that her services are Thursday. I wish we could have gotten some type of resolution that I could have read at the services, but maybe I can offer something to her family once I get that information. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Turner.
Thank you. Before my comments, Mayor, can we, I don't know if it would be appropriate to put schedule an executive session in our meeting of the whole next Monday. Can we do that then, or do we have to do it at the next meeting on the 18th? There are 3 things that I want to talk about in executive session. I just want to make sure we make that time. Can we get that on the agenda either way?
I would do it at the council one, because next week it's a limited time. It's 3 hours. and you don't want to take time up in executive session, so I would do it on the next city council meeting.
All right, great. If we can do that, then I can forego these 3 items. Thank you very much. So, in the 6th ward, so we talked about the leaf pickup, and Public Works and LRS are out doing leaves. They're in the 6th ward now, and they're playing catch up to their schedule that they just ridiculous. We all know what the problem is, but we're going to have LRS and Public Works out for the next 2 weeks, sir? Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, leaves are being picked up, right? And then again, they're in the 6th ward now, but I think they already hit your ward, Edie? They're coming, all right. And then on December 23rd, Pure at Heart Ministries and I are hosting an Angel Tree Christmas gift for the children of incarcerated individuals. That'll be at Sunset Bowling Alley, 2015 North Lewis, and it's going to be from 12 to 4 p.m. All are welcome. There'll be food, music, and even some bowling if you want to do some bowling. Okay, and that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Okay. I just want to thank everybody for calling, and of course, we've answered the leaf issue here. Just let them stay, and they'll come and, they will pick it up. I want to say last Thursday, I attended the Galloway Assisted Living open house they had there. Alderman Florian and the mayor were there, and they had and Janica Kelly, and they had a wonderful caroling group there, and they were very, very hospitable. The facility is phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. We weren't able to go anywhere, in there, but their main hall where they probably have lunch and breakfast and dinner was very nice and very, very accommodating. And the staff there is just phenomenal. Then just real quick here, I got an email from Joseph Liggett and the senior class professor, Kevin Henders, the University of Illinois Department of Architectural, Urbana-Champaign. And he said this email had gone out to the City of Waukegan, County of Lake, School District 60, College of Lake County, and the Waukegan Park District. Basically, the University of Illinois has prepared a master plan for major improvements of Waukegan downtown and the lakefront areas. When implemented, it could add to the tax base of Waukegan. The presentation is going to be tomorrow, December 5th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at CLC Lakeshore Campus right here downtown to the left. The free 500-car parking is directly north of the Lakeshore building. The purpose of this is to have 5 separate plans to be unveiled that will greatly interest prospective developers and investors. The proposed development area is already included in the TIF and will save millions of dollars providing their proposals are implemented. These ideas will greatly improve the city of Waukegan and the county of Lake. So if you're out and around, go take a look and see what you can do. That's it.
I just want to clarify that a little bit. This is a project that the University of Illinois students have been doing. It is not a commitment from the city to use those plans because it is on a city block, the one that we will send out for development, and developers will submit. Some may submit their plans. They can look at these plans if they wish at that time, but there is no obligation either way of them using those plans. The wonderful thing about these plans, on one hand, is that none of the students have been given a budget. So it's a dream plan. Now, when you actually get a developer to do it, they may not necessarily, they work within budgets. So that, may be one of the restrictions. But it is a chance for students to learn, for them to come and look at our city, I think is a great opportunity for us. And so that's what this is about, is just submitting plans. And these are 10 students. There are 10 architectural students. They work in groups of 2. And it will be for the block at Washington Street where the Associated Bank is.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Is what? So just to clarify again, we all know what the garbage issue is. The problem that we're running into with most garbage companies is most do not want to continue to do leaf service. So we've struggled with Waste Management for a couple of years. That was why their contract was canceled. Their customer service was not good about returning calls. So we went with a different group. They will do it next year. Every year, we still send our Public Works people out anyway. It's not that this is new to us. We just know that, you know, you never know what fall is going to be here in Chicago. We can still get leaves falling in December even though we have snow. So this will be our rounds of cleanup before the snow comes. We will be hitting all of the communities. Those of you who are still having issues with getting garbage cans, there was some confusion that, you know, the brochures that they sent out were very specific to leave your garbage cans out. Some did not. If they were visible, they came and picked up the Waste Management ones. If they weren't visible, like you had your garbage cans in your garage or in your backyard, then they did not pick them up. Continue to use the Waukegan number for LRS, and they will come out and sort that out for you, okay? We've had a couple of other issues arise. We had a neighborhood in the 8th Ward that was not part of the contract. They had an agreement that we were unaware of, so we are still working some issues out, but we are getting there. And so in the next couple of weeks, if any of you have residents that are not there yet, where their garbage cans are not being taken care of, please let my office know, and same for residents, okay? With that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Alderman Turner, second. Alderman Martinez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Don't forget, Chris Lanning has tickets to the holiday walk. Raise your hand there, Chris.